From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Hello, and welcome to the special edition of Cronkite News, a compilation of our coverage from the Republican National Convention this week in Cleveland. Our goal was to focus on Arizona's political leaders and the key Southwest issues as the GOP came together to nominate Donald Trump for the presidency. Tonight, we'll take you day by day through the convention highlights.
Our Cronkite News team coverage continues in Cleveland, where our reporters are covering the Republican National Convention.
Arizona delegates kicked off the first day with a lively breakfast. Cronkite News Washington reporter Wafa Shahed spoke with party officials and Governor Doug Ducey about what matters to them at this convention.
The breakfast drew in a colorful crowd with different looks and breakfast choices. But one goal remained the same: unite the party. Even though both Arizona senators and a number of high-profile Republicans opted not to come, this did not dampen any spirits.
I'm not talking about them, okay? I'm here.
We'll maintain great decorum, we'll have a great exchange of ideas, and we'll walk away having the nominee being Donald Trump and the vice president nominee being Mike Pence, and we have a clear path to victory. That's my expectation.
Arpaio said Republicans can unite even more by changing their language when referring to Trump.
Wait a minute. Why don't they say the name? They should be saying, we will support Donald Trump for president. What is this? We will support whoever the nominee is. Are they afraid to say his name?
But Ducey and Graham said defeating Clinton is all that really matters.
And so now we have people that are behind Donald Trump because they believe he's the best candidate, and we have people that are supporting Donald Trump because they don't want Hillary Clinton. And so it's a great time, and so you're seeing continuity come together and people rolling in the same direction.
We're Republicans. We believe that people should be able to speak for themselves. But I think what people are united around is to see a Republican in the White House and to see Hillary Clinton back in the private sector.
Reporting in Cleveland, I'm Wafa Shahed, Cronkite News.
I'm Crandall Brantley, live above the Republican convention floor. Democratic leaders are also here in downtown Cleveland talking about the potential bans of Trump's foreign policy plan.
You do not make America safe, again, both here and abroad, by tearing people apart and making people feel like they are the other.
Representative of Arizona's 7th Congressional District, Ruben Gallego, spoke at the Hillary for America press conference in downtown Cleveland this morning, involving what he believes to be a dangerous foreign policy plan by Trump. Gallego spoke at the press conference along with Wasserman Schultz and former governor of Ohio, Ted Strickland.
When it comes to domestic policy, and he throws rhetorical bombs out there that tears apart our communities instead of trying to heal our communities, it shows that he is more interested in trying to win an election than to trying to lead the nation.
Gallego gave a personal story about his time serving in the Marine Corps with American Muslims.
And while we were there, we had the honor of serving with many Muslim Americans that were raised here in Ohio. When I hear Donald Trump saying that we need to treat these men and women as the other, as potential enemies, that's not making us safe. As a matter of fact, it's making us less safe.
Schultz also chimed in on Trump's foreign policy plan, but also stated that Americans deserve better than a president by whom key decisions are determined by what mood he's in.
Trump is the guy who said he didn't have to listen to military and foreign policy experts because he has a very good brain. And Trump said this, and I quote, "I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me."
Gallego, Strickland, and Schultz, along with other Hillary supporters, will be campaigning in Cleveland all week in the intent to inform voters that Trump is unfit to be commander-in-chief. Representative Ruben Gallego is also one of the people who joined DNC Chairman Schultz to discuss Trump's ban on Muslims and his alleged potential disregard for the threat of nuclear weapons.
Our Public Insight Network Bureau reached out to Arizona delegates and asked, what motivated you to become a delegate? Jay Schlum, a Republican delegate from Fountain Hills, says he's excited to be part of this historical political process that is critical to the continued success of our country. Lori Klein Corbin, a Republican alternate delegate, says she has 3 sons and wants them to be able to live the American dream, unencumbered by government rules and regulations meant to keep them down and poor.
Meanwhile, the Republican National Convention in Cleveland, Ohio began today, and border relations is sure to be a polarizing topic. Our Cronkite News team reached out to delegates at the Republican National Convention, and they tell Cronkite News that the wall is the answer.
The real question is, do you lock the doors on your house? Do you lock the doors on your car? Practice what you preach.
Oh, I'm all for it. We should have had it in 1986. But it's going to happen now.
I live in Arizona, grew up in Bisbee, Arizona, which is right on the border. So I would have to question those polls.
I think we all need to work together to secure the border however that happens. And I think we need the input from the ranchers down at the border. We need the input from the Border Patrol itself and from all Americans, quite frankly.
It's like the Super Bowl on steroids. Remember the closures in downtown Phoenix for the big game? Now imagine if that closure went on for more than a mile.
As Cronkite News reporter Megan Finnerty tells us, while the streets of Cleveland are well organized, it's still not business as usual.
Tens of thousands came into Cleveland for the Republican National Convention, and with them, road closures, parking bans, and security zones that have disrupted daily life here.
I usually bike around a lot. I've had to take the bus though because of all the blockades and all the craziness around here in the traffic. Kind of have to take the bus. It's a bit more of a safer route to go.
Safety is the main reason for the closures. That has reassured Arizona delegate Debbie Lesko.
Well, before I came, I was a little nervous with all the different demonstrations going on throughout the country and in Phoenix, quite frankly. And I thought, wow, this is quite the terrorist spot and also protester spot. So I was nervous, but quite frankly, I haven't seen a protester yet.
Cleveland has designated secure areas with 8-foot-tall steel grates and streets manned by cops, soldiers, and Secret Service.
I feel safe. I feel like there's no harm. There's so many people down here and so much happening that I just don't feel that anything's going to happen.
In preparation, public transit has added trolleys and created deals for convention goers.
Normally people do come by car a lot to downtown, and now people are taking more public transportation.
Lyft and Uber also made special arrangements for the RNC. Harold Wagner, an Uber driver, came in town specifically for the convention.
It was supposed to be a very busy weekend, so I came to see if I could make some extra money.
A Lyft official said it grew their amount of drivers and expanded their coverage area. Uber also created a lounge at the corner of 3rd and Frankfort for riders to wait. Lesko praised the city for its security and transportation.
The city of Cleveland has done an excellent job of organizing this.
Getting around downtown Cleveland from the Quicken Loans Arena to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is difficult but doable.
Controversy erupted over Melania Trump's convention speech last night for being similar to a speech given by Michelle Obama in 2008.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
There were 2 other times Melania's speech mirrored Michelle Obama's. We reached out to Arizona delegates to see how they felt about the accusation that the speech was plagiarized.
What she said, I loved, and if Michelle Obama said the same thing, great. I don't know if she did or not.
Maybe we ought to take a look at all of the First Lady speeches, because I think you're going to see a common thread with everyone. Those are all things all of us say to our families.
You know, who knows where it originated from. I know she wrote a lot of the speech. I've been pretty close to the Trump campaign in a number of different ways. And then on the same side, if you have people helping, I mean, most people will have help, especially with English being her second language.
But what exactly is plagiarism, and how do we avoid it, especially in high-stakes situations like political speeches? Reporter Christina Tatro sat down with writing experts to look deeper into this pen and paper issue. Plagiarism is defined by Merriam-Webster as the act of using another person's words or ideas without giving credit to that person. One act, a single act of plagiarism, can devastate someone's reputation. Plagiarism.
It feels like theft.
And writing experts say the main issue of taking others' words and work.
It comes down to trust.
So, how does trust affect a political campaign? Parts of Melania Trump's speech to the Republican National Convention last night sounded a lot like a similar speech given by Michelle Obama back in 2008.
It is a disaster.
Jason Rose has owned his PR firm for 20 years and has worked with dozens of political campaigns. He says in a plagiarism scandal like this, it can ruin one's chance at winning, and it hits hardest for first-time candidates.
It intrudes on someone's appeal to be trustworthy, to be impressive, to be comfortable.
And he says in this case with Melania, it's like a political soap opera, and the best thing to do is own up and say who's at fault.
It's profoundly important to say, I apologize, show contrition, it won't happen again, and the steps that will be taken to assure that it won't happen again.
As of now, Trump's campaign manager denies any type of plagiarism, and the White House has not yet made a statement. According to CNN, the campaign does not plan to fire anyone or take any disciplinary action over the controversy, and it hopes to move on without answering any more questions about the speech. In the Broadcast Center, Christina Tatro, Cronkite News.
Our Public Insight Network Bureau reached out to delegates from Arizona currently in Cleveland for the RNC and asked, if you were sending a postcard to Republicans who skipped the convention, what picture would you include and what would you say to them? Delegate and State Senator Debbie Lesko said, quote, wish you were here to witness thousands of great Republicans who believe in America's greatness. Rudy Giuliani said it best, it's time to make America one again. Another Arizona alternate delegate, David Ludwig, said, quote, we understand the holdouts' concerns and right to fight. They are a vast minority. I hope their hearts turn soon and the healing and unity ensues.
With just more than 24 hours before Republican nominee Donald Trump addresses the delegation, more and more people are gathering to hold rallies. And some of those rallies got heated. There was one case of flag burning, and some officers used pepper spray to stop the pushing and shoving between protesters and the crowds. There were reports of several arrests. Cronkite News reporter Eddie Keller was at Public Square during some earlier demonstrations. Eddie?
Yeah, you know, protests were expected coming into the Republican National Convention. After all, critics say that the event was divisive from the beginning. But a protest today specifically hit home with an Arizona native who drove all the way here to voice his concerns.
I drove out here with a couple of people from Phoenix exclusively for this action and to be here for the RNC.
And the threat of a wall being built on Arizona's border doesn't sit right with Ernesto Lopez.
We're scared of the policies the Trump and the RNC is pushing forward. We feel that it's going to be detrimental not only to ourselves but for the nation.
So in protest, he joined up with Mi Gente.
We put a symbolic wall around the Republican National Convention, or at least as much as we could get to.
Tanya Unzueta says that the people who joined her protest come from across the nation and from all walks of life.
This is a wall that was held up by immigrants from around the country, Iraq veterans, women, people who've been organizing here in Ohio to really show that we actually are coming together to organize against what we see as hateful rhetoric coming from the Republican candidate.
Earlier in the week, many Republican delegates expressed their support for a wall being built. Lopez says that they would change their minds if they saw the border towns themselves.
And once you're there, you see with the militarization of the border, it's a military zone. There's people with guns all the time, people harass you. And me as a Mexican, I know what it's like to get harassed. Once I go in and out, I've been stopped 7 times in one day by Border Patrol, interrogated every single time. So if you don't know what it's like to be there, it's easy to say, let's put a wall up.
And we've heard all of the excuses from the Republican congressional delegates, such as going on a trip to the Grand Canyon or campaigning or even just mowing his lawn. But one Arizona representative actually flew from London all the way here to be with his party. Cronkite News reporter from Washington, Wafa Shahid, spoke with Trent Franks and other Arizona delegates about the absentees.
I believe that this is probably the most important election in my lifetime, and I just had to be here.
But Representative Franks defended his colleagues who chose to sit out of the convention.
It's a busy time. A lot of other members of the House of Representatives did come. I don't know which ones were here when. I just came in last night myself, so I was late.
The primary election in August was the main factor Franks and some delegates named as the reason behind the high-profile Republicans' absence.
I would like to see more of our congressmen here and supporting the party. I know there's other agendas with elections going on right now, so it's important to be in Arizona with your constituents fighting for your reelection or election.
But some delegates at the brunch didn't take too kindly to the absence of the high-profile leaders.
It was sad. The others should have been here too. At least one of the two senators should have been here. It's shameful that they weren't.
Urgency was a common theme among speakers at the brunch. They reiterated the consequences a Clinton presidency could have long-term.
Mrs. Clinton will see the undermining of the Constitution for a generation or more.
In Cleveland, I'm Wafa Shahid, Cronkite News.
Other speakers at the brunch, like Republican Chairman Robert Graham and Sheriff Joe Arpaio, continue to stress the need for unity and focus within the party, even though congressmen like Senator John McCain and Senator Jeff Flake and all the representatives other than Franks never came to the convention. Live from Cleveland, Eddie Keller, Cronkite News.
Our Public Insight Network Bureau reached out to delegates in Cleveland today, asking if they think the GOP is at a historic crossroads. Why or why not? One response we got is from Zacharias Katsaros, who is an alternate delegate. He said, quote, "Yes, a historic crossroads because the GOP nominated a businessman versus a politician." Another response from Committeewoman Sharon Geis. She said, quote, "With the election of Donald Trump, our country will be at a historic crossroads with correcting many ills that are experiencing and getting us back on track." At the Republican National Convention, a variety of groups are showing support for Trump, including a Chinese-American organization with thousands of members across the country. Cronkite News reporter Jia Jia found out what attracts them to the Republican candidate.
Chinese-Americans love Trump.
David Tian Wang founded the Chinese Americans for Trump movement with just 3 people after Trump announced his run for president last year.
He's very real. He says he doesn't like illegal immigrants. Who likes illegal people?
Trump! Today, the group has thousands of people, including more than 150 from Arizona. They believe Trump will make America great again.
It is about giving American families hope for a better future.
Royce Primbus, the chair of Republican National Committee, also made a speech to thank the group for their support.
If we can't figure out how to tap into the culture of this country, you can't win national elections.
There are 6,000 members in the Chinese Americans for Trump movement group. They come from different states, they have different jobs, but the people I talked to told me the only reason that they are here is that they believe that Trump will give them a better future. Lisa Liu is a businesswoman from California. She said she paid attention to Trump 20 years ago.
I met him in person. He's very kind, very gentle, very wonderful man.
Some people support Trump's stiff attitude towards terrorists.
And now, every day you can hear there's some terrorist attack.
Also, there are other Asian groups here to support Trump. Thuy Lo is Vietnamese.
Trump is a business person, and many Asian Americans are business people.
Though the U.S. Census shows the population of Asian people is just over 5%. They say they will be heard.
My English is not that good, but I can yell, vote for Trump.
In Cleveland, Jia Jia, Cronkite News.
Donald Trump impersonator Eric Jackman has made national headlines for his impersonations of the official Republican nominee. But as Crandall Brantley reports, even Jackman believes Trump should take a more serious approach toward his campaign.
And they endorsed my campaign, by the way, early on. So I've always had a great affinity for Arizona.
With 10 years of experience impersonating Trump, Eric Jackman put his skills to the test in downtown Cleveland, receiving laughs from crowds and plenty of media attention.
So just be honest and don't give the Clintons a free pass.
Jackman said he decided to impersonate Trump after watching him argue with Rosie O'Donnell on The View in 2006.
He just sounded off for 2 minutes. He was like, well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, you take a look at her, she's a slob. She talks like a truck driver. And I was like, oh my God, Donald Trump's crazy. This is awesome. $1 million.
But Jackman isn't your ordinary entertainer. He studied political science at Franklin Pierce University and started working for the John Kerry campaign as a senior in high school. Jackman said he watches hours of Trump news on a daily basis to find new material. But his impersonations did not become a part-time gig until the real Donald Trump called Jackman up to the front of the crowd at a Trump rally back in February.
And he went, get up here, and he called me to the front of the stage, and he was laughing, and he said, Melania, would you marry this guy? I don't know. And he just, he said, congratulations, man, I hope you make a lot of money. So when Trump said that, I was like, shoot, maybe I should just kind of start doing this as like a part-time gig.
But Jackman isn't giving Trump a pass on the way he's running his campaign, even though he prefers Trump over Clinton.
Attacking the other people is all fun, it's great. Lying Ted, Little Marco, low energy Jeb, that stuff's great. But if you're going to be commander-in-chief of the armed forces, if you're going to be president of the United States, you need to be serious about policy, and you need to take this thing seriously.
Today's day 4 of the Republican National Convention. And on this last day, the theme is Make America One Again. But party unity may have gotten off to a bit of a rocky start. Cronkite News reporter Megan Finnerty joins us live from above the convention floor.
It isn't a shock that Senator Ted Cruz isn't a fan of the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. But it was a shock last night when he didn't endorse the Republican nominee. But that may just be what brings the party together. Senator Ted Cruz was booed off the stage last night on the third night of the Republican National Convention when Cruz did not endorse Trump. Rather, he called for a better future. Despite what the headlines call a party of disarray, Arizona delegates call it the picture of unity.
It's really kind of helped unify the majority of the party because if you weren't quite Trump people before, you kind of are now.
The week didn't begin well for unity in the GOP when the floor erupted Monday over a rules vote. The nays felt they weren't heard and demanded a roll call vote. That was denied. But as the convention went on, those hurt feelings seemed to fade. And when Ted Cruz took the stage, delegates say it was a bonding moment.
I think he unified our party in a strange sense of the word. I saw people that had not been speaking for months come together last night and understand and realize that this is not about one man.
As the convention closes tonight, today's theme is Make America One Again. Ron Lutters from Phoenix wants to gain a sense of purpose and direction for the party from Trump's acceptance speech.
Republicans are very idealistic people, and when we see strong policy, I think we can unite behind that. It's not just a personality thing.
Before the RNC, Arizona delegates feared that the party would not unify behind the nominee. But after last night, that's exactly what they said happened. Live above the floor at the RNC, I'm Megan Finnerty, Cronkite News.
Of course, the headliner will be presidential nominee Donald Trump. He's expected to take the stage to formally accept the nomination this evening. Cronkite News reporter Crandall Brantley spoke to Arizona delegates about what they expect to hear from their candidate tonight.
The Republican National Convention will wrap up in downtown Cleveland this evening with the week's most anticipated speech from Donald Trump. Several Arizona delegates say that Trump has energized the party.
He just brings out that enthusiasm. I remember when I turned 18 was when Ronald Reagan was running, and Reagan brought out that enthusiasm that made you proud to be an American. And I think that Trump does that. He does that with me.
But they are hoping for more than just Trump's rallying cry and attacks on Hillary Clinton. They want more substance on his own policies this evening on the economy, education, and immigration reform.
I'm sure the American people already know what Hillary has done and hasn't done during her whole tenure as an elected official. So I think now we play up to our positives, we unite the party, and that he delivers a message that will let us leave here more unified, even more unified than we are now.
Some people feel we've kind of gone a little too far towards the div, the root word of divide or diversity, and we need to really get back to our origins, which is uni or united or the United States, unity. So, and that's the message that I pick up from him. The question will be if he's able to translate that message to the rest of the country in a way that they'll understand it.
Republican delegates, along with the rest of the country, will hear Trump as the last speaker at tonight's convention. In downtown Cleveland, Crandall Brantley, Cronkite News.
The Republican National Convention drew in young and old delegates from around the country, but the Arizona delegation had some of the youngest delegates. Cronkite News reporter Wafa Shahid spoke with two 18-year-old Republicans about their experience.
It's kind of unbelievable. I mean, we were just in government class this past year learning about national conventions and all, and the political process.
Rob McCutcheon and Amanda Flores said their goal is to represent millennials in a room full of older Republicans.
We're the people that are eventually going to live in this world that, people a lot older than us are making the decisions for, and so I want to be in the room where the decisions are made.
The millennial generation, they're not as involved as previous generations, but I do think there's a lot of potential there, especially as of late. There's been a lot of interest there. You have a lot of smaller grassroots movements.
They stressed that basic civil engagement is all it takes to make a difference.
You don't have to run to be a delegate. You don't have to be a politician, but at least take the time to become familiar with the people who are running for office.
High-profile Republicans at the convention agreed that millennial involvement is vital.
Donald Trump, again, has opened up the discussion box. He's made it so people talk way more. My daughter's 12 years old, Faith, and Faith tells me that almost every day at lunch or in school or when she's playing with her friends, doing different things, they talk about politics. When does that happen? When have kids been so interested? She credits it to Donald Trump.
Whenever you're reaching out and building a party and a movement, you want to continue to reach out for the young vote, and that's something you'll definitely see out of our administration.
No matter the winner, their first presidential election will be one they never forget. In Cleveland, I'm Wafa Shahid, Cronkite News.
Next week, Cronkite News will be in Philadelphia as the Democratic Party holds its convention, and we'll bring you full continuing coverage all week on Arizona PBS and cronkitenews.azpbs.org.